Hello there, and welcome to my channel, Novice Modelling in a Midlife Crisis. My name is Andy, and today we're doing a What's in the Box kit review on this AFV Club kit number AF35100, which is a Centurion tank for the Royal Australian Armoured Corps Mark 5/1, 135 scale Vietnam version, and this is from their NAM VN War series. Now, for those of you that haven't seen AFV Club kit before, you're in for a treat. They're rather nice, shall we say. They're not exactly on the cheap side, but I think with the array of parts I've got in front of me, you probably agree they're like kind of pretty reasonable value for money. So we get a little bit of a blurb with this particular kit, so I'm just going to read that out. In 1943, the British Army started designing a 40-ton cruise tank with the ability to withstand a direct hit from the German 88mm gun. This tank, now known as A41, would adopt Rolls-Royce engine and Christie suspension. However, it was quickly found that the A41 would exceed 40 tons. Eventually, this requirement was withdrawn. Two kinds of 17-pound main gun was fitted for testing. One was that of used on the Firefly tank. The other was a shorter barrel planned to be fitted to the Comet tank. Eventually, the British Army adopted the former. After evaluation, the A41, with slightly modified and weighted 43 tons, now was formally designated as the Centurion. Only got 6 prototype tanks completed before the end of the war. However, the war was soon over even before the prototypes reached the front. It's not very well written, this. As the the first batch of Centurion Mark 1 were completed as planned and delivered to the British Army in 1949. From Mark 3, the Centurion adopted 20-pound main gun. This type participated in the Korean War. There are 13 variations of Centurion in total. As the Commonwealth member, the Australian Army ordered a batch of Centurion in 1949. However, due to the outbreak of the Korean War, the tank was shipped to Korea, resulting the Australian Army only got their first Mark IIIs in 1952. Along with later orders and upgrades, Australian Centurions were all reached Mark V standard by 1961. From 1967, the Australian Army once again upgraded their Mark Vs to Mark V/1. Equipped with infrared night vision systems for commander, driver and aimer. From 1968 to 71, the Australian Army sent out 3 Centurion Mark V/1 companies, along with other armoured support variations to Vietnam. The Centurion represents the philosophy of post-World War II British Army, comprising manoeuvrability in favour of firepower and defence capability. The Centurion enjoys a very long 60-year service time, becomes a legend in modern tank history. Okay, so let's move the box out of the way. Let's have a quick nose through the instructions. And as you can see here, we're starting with some suspension points. Point, spring, point. Quite a lot of detail, quite a lot of parts. 3, we're moving on to the wheels, and you can see the tyres are actually provided separate, and the tyres are rubber as well, so that's kind of nice. It saves on the painting. Section 4, we're going to attach our road wheels to our suspension system. Section 5, we're going to be putting our drive sprockets on. A few other parts at the bottom here. Section 6, we have to put the guide wheels on the top. Section 7, we have some parts to attach to the rear of the tank, possibly towing hitches, etc. Looks like we've got a spare, this is a towing point here as well. Section 8, small parts going on to the rear. We have this part which looks like some sort of hatch cover perhaps. Then we have what looks like a load of grills and grating to go over it. Section 10, we're going to put the front of the tank on. We're going to put the top section with our gap for our turret. And we're going to put some rear mudguards on the rear. Looks like we're going to be adding more parts to the engine compartment, some rails, and a whole load of grab handles here as well, by the look of it as well. Lots of detail points. Section 12. These are going to be the side panels that run along at the top of the wheels and tracks. We've got a bunch of tools to attach. Same on the other side. All indicated as being pre-painted before they go on. Section 14. More parts to attach to the side panels. We have a front armoured plate going on in section 15. A couple of other small bits, front and top and rear. Section 16. More small parts going on the front. We've got some spare tracks, some spare road wheels. Now we're going to start getting on to the construction of the turret. So there's the base, two side parts. Looks like the gun mantle. And we have the top of the turret going on. These look like storage containers to go on the side of the turret. We have some mesh parts, more caging to go around the back for stowage, with some possibly flexi mesh to stop anything from falling out of those. Possibly optional. Got a whole load of other things going on with the turret as well. Started putting the barrel together. More storage containers that are added on. We have our secondary weapon going in. Commander's cupola. Hatches going on. We have a towing cable to deal with, which goes around the back like so. And then we have these 60s or 50s or whatever they are, infrared optics to go on the front as well. And then when that's all completed with your turret, you can put your turret onto your hull. And then we're going to put the tracks together. Don't get any, unfortunately, any colour diagrams. But the base colour is olive drab for C Squadron, 1st Armoured Regiment, 1968, Vietnam. Base colour again is the same. C Squadron, Vietnam 71. Base colour the same for 1970, Vincent. Kind of think that's supposed to be Vietnam, not sure. 1871, Vietnam. So basically all these colour diagrams are showing you the different markings that were applied to different vehicles. There's a part list on the back also. So let's have a look at these parts, which are pretty nice. These are all in the bag. This kit does not belong to me, so they're not coming out of the bag. As you can see, we've got some rather heavy, quite nice looking rubberized sort of tank tracks. And that looks like the main component sections of the turret in there as well. Fair bit of detail going on. Some little sort of grab points here. Some little access points. You can see we've got some nice sort of weld marks on the plastic here where the armour plate's been put together. That all looks pretty cool. We have this clear plastic sheet, which comes with a whole bunch of lights and what have you. I'm guessing this is part of the Commander's cupola fitting, so you can actually see the glass parts in the cupola, which is a nice touch. This is going to be the infrared mechanism, which is attached to the front of the tank. We get a decal sheet. It comes with a variety of decals on. Flip that over. We've got some, is that metal gauze? That's plastic gauze, I think, there inside for some vents and grills. Get a piece of quite thick cord for our towing cable, and there's a few photo etch parts to attach as well. This little baggie here contains a whole bunch of tyres to go on our road wheel, which are rubber effect. They look pretty good. Saves on the hassle of painting. Our first screw, let's just zoom that in a bit. As you can see here, we've got the top of the turret, which has got some very faint sort of foundry marks on it, possibly. Let's have a look. What do you reckon? It's got some variation. It's got a nice amount of detail on there, though, I think you'll agree. We got here, these are going to be containers of some sort. It's the ring that goes around where our turret base is. There's a gun mantlet. Again, I would possibly say that's got some foundry marks on there. A whole load of small parts going on down the side. We've got jerry cans. This is potentially going to be part of our infrared system. Looks like we've got the secondary weapon here. Nice looking stuff. Wow, we've just seen something interesting. What we got here? Gun mantlet. Part of the hull. This is going to be all the caging that goes around the turret for storage. Possibly part of the rear with some hatches going on. Undersides, nothing too exciting. Well, this one here contains 2 screws and some springs. They're obviously for our Christie suspension, so we get, I'm guessing, active suspension on this that actually works. That's pretty cool. There's a load of small plastic lugs there to attach your wheels to. So I'm guessing the intention is to have actual rotating wheels. Got a whole load of drive sprockets and road wheels here. These look like parts of the side skirts above the tracks. Got a whole load of running wheels across the bottom. I'm impressed with the springs, I must admit. Has anybody built one of these previously? How did he get on? Another small screw, set of small screws here, 2 in this baggie. Lots of little bits to lose and break. A few grab handles, some towing hitches. Small vents maybe. Looking good. One big sprue here, which is lots of parts of the hull. It's obviously where our turret is going to go. These are all going to be parts of the engine bay, I should think. Nice hatch, lots of nice detail around the hinges. They're going to be the tops of the side panels. Don't like a bunch, looks like a sort of crate of some sort, possibly gun cleaning equipment. A couple of springs. Looking good. And we have our final sprue here. Some mounting points for equipment on this. Some mounting points for our drive sprockets. And a few other small parts. So it's a nice looking kit, that. Well worth the whatever it costs. As it's part of Mikey's collection, like I've said, it will be available for sale at some point. Be kind of interested, drop us a line. We can try and put you two together, or at some point it will be on his eBay site, Sticker 100. Yeah, so you can have a look at that at some point in the future and maybe get in touch with him and say, where's that AF3 Club 35100 Centurion Royal Australian armoured car? He'll give you a price and he'll send it out to you. So I think that's a nice looking kit. It's part of a running ongoing series of exploration into Mikey's mammoth kit stash of 5,000 kits. Please do have a look at that, and we're also doing some what's in the boxes from his kit selection, just some random kind of nice looking things that I've picked out because I kind of wanted to have a look at them myself, to be honest with you. So thanks very much for watching. Please do like and subscribe, and as always, be seeing you.